Rock Duck.
Welcome back, Savatage Legionnaires. I've been getting a lot of questions concerning my recent videos posted concerning the tours of the upcoming Curtain Call album, tentatively titled, and the new upcoming Romanovs, When Kings Must Whisper album.
When the Kings Must Whisper.
And people want to know how I know all this stuff. So a lot of it is deductive reasoning, and some of it comes from this article I've got right here that I'd like to introduce to people that are not familiar with it. This is an interview of Jon Oliva done by Sakis Fragos of Greece's Rock Hard. And it confirmed that Jon Oliva is working on new music from the cult metal outfit
Savatage.
And this was transcribed in Blabbermouth. So if you want to read the article for yourself, you can go to Blabbermouth and read it. But I'm going to do my best Jon Oliva impression to give you guys what he was talking about in this article. All right, so here it goes.
I've made these mistakes before. I'm not making these mistakes now. I'm not rushing it, he explained. I figure, well, I want to get it out by next April so that I can come over with everybody, meaning he wants to go over to Europe and tour. We all want to come and do the festivals next summer. And I'm like, I'm not rushing this. No fucking way. Because this will probably be the last album we ever do. And I'm going to make sure that it's a 10 out of 10.
According to Oliva, there are plenty of ideas to choose from for Savatage's upcoming LP.
I have enough material right now for 3 albums, he said. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to condense it down. I'm going to try to condense it down to 1 album with 3 bonus tracks. I'm going to record everything when I get the guys down here.
Sunny Florida.
So we're going to record all the shit that we've got.
More Sound
and in case
Studios.
I want to do another album,
Night Castle
Hint, hint,
Studios.
the second one I've been talking about with the second TSO album, Path of the Fairy Tale Moon.
I'll have it all ready to go. That's the game plan.
Regarding the musical direction of the new Savatage material, Jon said this.
Some of this shit's really strong. I'm even looking at myself going, holy shit, this is really strong. And the fact that you're going to have me and Zach sharing the vocals and doing songs together in like a duet thing is even more. It blows me away. I purposely wrote 5 or 6 songs specifically for Zach to sing. And then I worked on a lot of songs with Pitrelli that are definitely, these are Oliva songs. And then we have a couple of big epic songs. This is going to be the best album I ever made, Oliva promised. Unless I kill myself. All I know is that the Sava fans are going to be blown away when they hear this. They're going to be blown away. I wasn't going to do the Savatage thing and just do a half-assed album. If I'm going to do this album, I'm going to do the best album I've ever done. Because when I go out, I want to go out on top.
Boom. And that is why I believe that they are gearing all this up with the tours with TSO, as TSO has just garnered the spot of 10th highest grossing touring band of all time. And since Jon Oliva has publicly stated that he wants to go out on top, I believe that this means he wants to take that position up to number 1. Jon went on to say that a new Savatage song called For the Man Who Would Be King is one that he sometimes refers to as the new Morphine Child, a nod to the track on Savatage's 2001 album Poets and Madmen.
And that's one that me and Zach are going to do together, he explained. And then it's got this big middle section that's all this Queen operatic style vocals. I'm like, wow, this is going to be epic.
Regarding which other musicians will be involved in the recording process for the new Savatage album, Jon said this: I'm going to have former Savatage drummer Steve Wacholz come in and play a couple of songs, but Jeff Plate, Johhny Lee Middleton, Al Pitrelli, Chris Caffery, Zach me on a couple of things. I'm going to have Jane Mangini, Trans-Siberian Orchestra keyboardist, come in and play, and maybe the Ukrainian guy, Vitaly Caffery, because I have a couple of things that are beyond my capabilities of playing. And I figure instead of me spending a month trying to figure out how to play this shit, I'll have one of these guys do it. My keyboard players with TSO, they're some of the best in the world by far. So I'm like, Oliva, are you stupid? Why you are going to sit there and try to, you can't do it. With 4 arms, you couldn't do it. He continued, I'm getting everybody involved from the beginning. I want it to be a full band album. All of us working together. And it's gonna be great. Asked about the possible title for the new Savatage album, Jon said, well, the working title is Curtain Call. But I don't know if that's gonna be it. Because the very last song that's gonna be on the album is this song called Curtain Call. And it's just me with a piano, and it's very deep. It's basically me singing to the fans, telling them all goodbye and thank you. Every time I hear it, I just break down and cry. Everybody I played it for just cries. It's just very deep, man. But it's my way of saying goodbye to everybody. Thank you. I love you all. And this is my final goodbye. Thank you. Have a good life. And do whatever. So I think I'm going to call it Curtain Call. But it's not in stone yet. As for the timeline for the recording sessions for the new Savatage LP, Oliva said, we're going to work on it and record it starting in June. And we're going to work on it until we have to go to Omaha for the TSO rehearsals. And then after the TSO's tour, in January, we're going to come back and finish it up. So in January and February. And I want to put it out on Criss Oliva's birthday next year. Now, as we all know, that date has come and passed, and so everyone's getting antsy. But go back and listen to everything he stated prior to that. He wants it to be the best Savatage album ever, and he wants to take his time on it. He said he learned his lessons from previous Savatage albums as to not rush it. And so therefore, he doesn't need to rush this album. He's going for quality, right? He doesn't have to rush what he knows everyone is already waiting for. Jon also talked about Savatage's touring plans, saying, we have a lot of offers to come over and do festivals. And I'm like, all right, man, look, I'm not 25 anymore. If we're going to do this, I want to do walk-in. I want to do them all. And that's it. And be done with it. It's my way of saying goodbye to everybody. Giving the fans a goodbye from me and the guys to them. Hey, we love you. I've loved our fans forever, he added. They provided me with a living, and I'm not going to let them down. I'm going to come out, and I'm going to be out there next summer doing the festivals, and we're going to kick ass. Zach joined Savatage in 1992 as the replacement of Oliva. Zach sang on 4 albums with the band: Edge of Thorns, Handful of Rain, Dead Winter Dead, and The Wake of Magellan, before departing in 2000, allowing Jon Oliva to return. Both Jon and Zach took part in Savatage's 2015 performance at Walk-In Open Air Festival, which marked the band's first and only so far appearance on stage since they went on hiatus back in 2002. Savatage's last album release, Poets and Madmen, in 2001, was highlighted by Jon's return as lead vocalist, replacing Zach, who left the band citing family reasons, and the departure of guitarist Al Pitrelli, who accepted an offer to join Megadeth in 2000, which is odd because Megadeth was previously courting Criss Oliva. Pitrelli did record solos for some songs prior to his departure. Another very limited U.S. tour followed, supported by supported by Fate's Warning in the early shows, and then Nevermore for the remainder. Around this time, John chose Zach's replacement in the form of Damon Johhny, Diet of Worms fame, and Damon performed Zach's part on tour, with John having an increased vocal role in proceedings. In September of 2021, Jon Oliva was arrested on the west central coast of Florida for driving under the influence as well as possession of a controlled substance. Police charged Oliva with possession of cocaine, which is a felony, and a DUI, which is a misdemeanor. And this, in my mind, is what's holding back the release of the album, the release of the tour. John is kind of stuck in hiatus in Florida until he can resolve these issues. Now, back in 2016, John announced on social media that he suffered a stroke in April of that year. At the time, he said it was not as serious as it could have been, but it did leave him with some physical recovery challenges often associated with strokes. Despite his health issues, John said that he didn't regret the way he had lived his life. He wrote, "I lived a rock and roll lifestyle since I was 18. It's all I knew, and I enjoyed the ride very much. But there comes a time in everyone's life where you have to step back and make some life-changing decisions, which I have." Shortly after Savatage's reunion performance at the 2015 Wacken Open Air Festival in Wacken, Germany, Jon Oliva claimed that he felt better than he had in 20 years because he had stopped drinking and basically overeating. In preparation for the concert, he explained, "It's my voice that's freaking me out, man, because even when I was in my late 20s, early 30s, doing songs like 24 hours ago, were always really hard to do. And of course, I didn't realize that it was all the drugs and alcohol I was doing. But after doing that, getting my act together and stuff, singing 24 hours ago, it's actually easy now." In addition to his work with Savatage, Jon Oliva is well known for co-creating the classical music meets progressive rock and pyro act Trans-Siberian Orchestra. Alongside the project's founder, Paul Oneill, Jon Oliva has reportedly remained involved in Trans-Siberian Orchestra's activities even after Paul Oneill's untimely demise in April of 2017. John's brother, Criss Oliva, who was one of the founding members of Savatage, was killed in October of 1993 by a drunk driver when he and his wife, Dawn Oliva, were en route to the livestock. Actually, they were coming back from Livestock Festival in Zephyr Hills, Florida. The driver of the other car was found to have a drunk driving record of 7 prior DUIs and having a blood alcohol content of 0.294%. And that's the saddest part out of all. Criss Oliva was definitely taken from us too early. Everyone agrees with that, and it would be amazing to know where Savatage would have ended up had Criss Oliva been alive or stayed alive or not been killed. Unfortunately, we have what we have. History is what it is. And out of that came Trans-Siberian Orchestra. For those that can't accept that transmutation and that movement towards that musically, well, it's your loss. There's a lot of great music there. Now, like I said, the upcoming Savatage album, which I believe there will be 2, and there will be 2 TSO tours with 2 TSO non-Christmas albums, the first one being Romanoff's When Kings Must Whisper, and the second TSO album being The Path of the Fairy Tale Moon. And as we all know, the tentative title for the first Savatage album to be, well, not first album ever, but the first one to be released in forever, is tentatively titled Curtain Call. So I hope this catches everyone up to date. We're still waiting to hear the actual due dates of these releases, but rest assured, they are coming out. The tour is being set up as we speak. It's all in the works, Everything just has to work out for all the guys to be able to, culminate together, and for everyone to be able to do this. And when it can happen, it is happening. All right, thanks for listening to Rock Duck Radio. That's all I've got today. Over and out.